Why are some people rich? Welcome back to Free to Be, guys, and this week I'm going to talk about the one thing that separates wealthy people from poor people. One thing that separates people who live paycheck to paycheck from people who are comfortable. And we're going to talk about the one thing today, so let's get started. As always, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below and turn on those notifications because it really means a lot to me. All right, so the one thing, guys, is money.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
Just kidding. Okay, so the one difference is really just multiple streams of income. It doesn't matter if you're making $1 million a year or $50,000 a year. If that income is coming from one source, you're never going to be as financially secure as you want to be. It's just not going to happen because you're always just working to get that paycheck, to get that next paycheck. Your work is just going to give you that one paycheck. So today I'm going to kind of give you guys two examples of what I mean by that. I want you to know that this example, it doesn't matter what I'm using in terms of the number because you could just factor it into your living situation, your expenses, and your salary. So in example A, we have someone who makes $10,000 a month net. That's their take-home pay, and their expenses are about $7,000 a month. So after you subtract the expenses from the take-home pay, you end up with about $3,000 a month in overage. So that's about 30%, right? And conventional wisdom says if you save 30% of your pay on a monthly basis, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna start building a nest egg, and then you can invest and figure it out from there. But in this scenario, that $10,000 is coming from one income source. So over a 12-month period, if that person saves $3,000 a month, they're going to have $36,000 of income basically that they've saved at the end of the year. So now you're thinking, oh look, this person was able to build a nice little rainy day fund, a nice little savings for themselves of $36,000. But let's say that at the end of the year they lost their job. Their one source of income was no longer there for them. Now this person has to live off this $36,000 that they have saved until they find another way to make income, another source to bring in that income. But the problem is they have to figure out a way to cover that $7,000 in expenses. So they can't just go out and get any job to fill the need. They have to go out there and make sure that they can bring in at least $7,000. So they're going to be looking for a similar job to what they had, which can be even tougher, and it could add a lot of stress and pressure. So let's say they don't find that. How long will it take for them to go through that $36,000? Well, basically 5.5 months. If you keep deducting $7,000 in expenses from $36,000, in a little over 5 months, you're going to have depleted your savings. You're going to have nothing left. So now you're in a situation where you're going to be heading down into the negatives because your expenses are going to be more than what you take home. Now let's say you found a job that replaced that income but only gave you $5,000 a month in income. You're still short $2,000, which means you're going to eat away that $36,000 in savings in 3 years, and you haven't figured out a way to kind of recoup the rest. So really, it's not ideal. It's not an ideal situation to be in to have that one source of income. Okay, so in example B, you have the same situation where you have $10,000 of take-home pay a month, $7,000 of expenses. But in this scenario, the $10,000 of take-home pay comes from 5 different income sources. So each income source is giving this person $2,000 a month, which comes out to be about $10,000. Same thing, if you subtract the expenses, $7,000, you get about $3,000 of savings a year. Go through the same 12-month cycle, now you have $36,000 of savings, and same situation, at the end of the first year, this person loses their income source, one income source. So now they've effectively lost one income source, and now they are only taking home $8,000 a month, but guess what that means? Their take home is $8,000 a month, but their expenses are still less than their take home pay. So they're effectively saving an additional $1,000 a month. They were able to lose one income source, still live comfortably, still have an extra $1,000 of savings a month to go into their $36,000 they saved that first year, and they can still work to build that 5th income source back, or try to get a bigger income source in there. So it's a lot more of a comfortable place to be. Same thing, let's say they lost 2 income sources, right? Now their take home is $6,000, but the difference is here, they don't have to scramble to go find something else. they can live, they have that $6,000, that $36,000 will effectively carry them out through a few years, and then they can figure out a way to build a couple other income sources. They can figure that out and not be as pressured or as stressed to do that. They feel a little bit more comfortable. They're empowered. They're comfortable and secure in terms of what they have financially, so it's not as much of a struggle. And that's really the difference between someone who is wealthy and someone who's struggling, who's not as financially secure. It's the multiple income sources. And that's what I want to bring you here on this channel, and that's what I've been trying to bring you, because right now, just like a lot of you, I'm living on one source of income primarily, but I've started to build multiple streams. And now I want to point this out. It's going to take time. Building streams of income is not like I can go out there and get 5 jobs that pay me $2,000 a piece. That's not how it works. It could take years, even decades, to build them to the point where they replace your primary source of income. But you have to take that step. You have to be empowered and kind of motivated enough to build the multiple streams of income so that you are in a position where, so that in the future, you don't have to rely on one source and you have multiple streams of income coming in and you are way more stable and secure. You're building a better foundation for yourself. And so that's really why it's important, guys, to try to, fix what you're spending, fix what you have there, and, don't adjust your lifestyle. So, one of the tips that I recommend you doing is, let's say you do have the one income source and you do have the $10,000 a month that you're bringing home. Let's say the following year, and this is a crude example, but let's say the following year you're now bringing in $20,000 a month. Don't adjust your expenses to, from $7,000 to $14,000 just because you're bringing in that extra money. Maybe figure out a way to leverage that extra $10,000 a month into some investments, some dividend stocks. And I did make a great video here about dividend stocks and the benefits. And guys, don't get discouraged. Again, this is something that takes time. There's definitely ways to snowball this and turn this into something bigger than it is, but you should definitely be thinking about building multiple streams of income because it'll help you in the future for sure. All right, guys, well, that's all I got today. Let me know what you thought of this video in the comments down below. If you liked it, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And if you guys want to see different types of content on this channel, you can let me know that down below as well. We'll see you next time.